Hey guys, I just want to come on and let you know that the ending of our show this week unfortunately got cut off, and so we won't have the exact end, so it may come to a semi abrupt finish. Unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do about that, but I wanted to kind of give you a heads up so that it doesn't come as too much as a surprise. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Hey guys, and welcome to the Geeks and Greeks podcast. The podcast focuses mostly on the NFL, but we also do talk about other sports such as the NBA and MLB, as well as video games and what else is going on in our lives. Step into the conversation of three friends who love sports and who love doing this. You can find us on YouTube, as well as Spotify, Amazon, and Apple podcast platforms, and we're also on Facebook, all with the same moniker, Geeks and Greeks. Thanks for stopping by. We hope you guys enjoy the show.
And here we go.
All right, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Geeks and Greeks podcast. We're happy to have you guys back. It's been an interesting week this week in football between last weekend's games and the trades and stuff we've had this weekend, which I'm sure we'll get to in this episode. I'm looking forward to it and looking forward to what happens this weekend coming up with the games.
Yeah, dude, it is going to be so hard for me when we get to the trade points because I have this habit of saying Amari Cooper's name in an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. And I do it all the time. Like, even when I'm listening to podcasts and I'm in a house by myself, I just repeat his name in an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice every time I hear it. It's going to be so hard to not do that for this podcast.
I mean, it adds entertainment to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the phrase "get to the chopper." You can't say it in an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. You have to say it in the Arnold voice.
Right, exactly.
It's the same thing.
Fair.
Right? What you guys got going on this week?
Just getting ready for football, I guess. You got the Giants at 1:00. Like, I'm not excited about that game.
Oh man, when I was looking at the slates of games this week, there's a couple that I'm actually kind of excited for, but there is some that it's like this is going to be just a kind of a off week for a lot.
Yeah.
The Jaguars stayed in London this week because they got another London game back to back, so they just stayed.
That's actually kind of cool. I mean, because you usually get like a day or two off in between practices and stuff. So like they actually got to get a vacation out of it. So it's like more than just, going over for work. That's pretty cool.
Right. And I'm betting since they're probably over there with the team, they're probably getting a per diem per day too.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, I would assume.
Millionaires dining on the dime of billionaires.
Right? What's better than that?
Right?
Oh, man. I
gotta admit, I'm kind of interested in the Detroit Minnesota game. That one seems like it's going to be kind of tight. 4-1 versus 5-0.
I was very tempted to pick Detroit as my guaranteed winner this week because I think they're just going to trounce Minnesota, but we'll see.
But before we get there, we'll start off with QB Survivor. Right. This week we've got Patrick Mahomes and Matt Stafford, on the golden immunity or the bye week. So you can't pick them. Adam, who are you going to give immunity to?
So I never thought that I would give this dude immunity, but I mean, he had a really, really good week, and it backs it up. And I'm giving mine to Brock Purdy.
Okay.
I mean, he put up 255 yards on 64% completion, which that's okay. It's not, it's not blowing anybody away, but 3 touchdowns and no interceptions and a 90.5 QBR. Like, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's honestly the best QBR this week. And
Yeah.
I mean, he probably wouldn't have been put up, but I just had to at least give a shout out to it because I'm not a big Brock Purdy fan, but I'll tip the cap to him on this one.
All right, Pete, who are you giving immunity to?
I'm gonna give mine to CJ Stroud. Didn't have the best of games. Still beat New England ridiculously, but he had under 200 yards and an interception. But they didn't need to throw more than that. And once again, maybe it's reputation. I think he's got a lot in him. I'm gonna give it to him.
All right, what about you, Tom?
I think it's a testament to how well we are doing on QB Survivor that of the entire list of quarterbacks, only 4 of them lost this week. And
That's what makes it harder, though.
I know,
right? But the one I chose is one that lost, but I think it's not fair to say because he lost he should be eliminated because he went up against an insane Ravens team. So I'm going to grant immunity to Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
And I think this is the epitome of the fickle finger of fate award. I mean, if he'd gone up against any other team, he would have done fine.
Yeah, he was on my list. I was close to choosing him too. It just, I don't know, man. There's some teams now. It feels like right now we've got 2 very, very clear-cut teams that are the best in the league right now, and one in each conference, which honestly makes it even better.
Yeah. And I mean, I think they also have some pretty solid rivals too, because you got Kansas City and you got Baltimore and you got Detroit and honestly Minnesota 5-0. And that game's coming up this week. So, and then I mean, there's other teams that are contenders and hanging in there, but
I still say San Francisco is going to be in that group. I put San Francisco in that more than I do Minnesota.
Yeah.
I don't think Minnesota can sustain this for the entirety of the season. I think San Francisco's already has already taken their lumps, and they're already having to adjust. And I mean, plus, I'll be honest, if I have to choose between a quarterback I trust to win me a game, Brock Purdy or Sam Darnold, it ain't Sam Darnold.
I can't believe Sam Darnold is 5-0.
Yeah,
he's got Justin Jefferson to throw it to.
I mean, fair.
Along with Jordan Addison.
I totally forget that he's their quarterback. I don't watch a lot of Minnesota games. It's totally loses my...
Even if they're 5-0, no one does.
Right?
I mean, if it wasn't Sam Darnold, it would have been J.J. McCarthy. So,
yeah.
I mean, it would have been one of the two, and I don't trust that he's going to be able to keep this up for the entirety of the season. Now, I could be wrong, and I mean, if I am, I am, but I don't see Minnesota being a real, actual contender threat when we get to the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm kind of bummed that they're playing at 1 too, because that's a game I'd like to watch, but I'm not going to skip an Eagles game for it.
Honestly, that should be the Sunday night or Monday night game, to be honest. But at the same time, when you were making the schedule, no one's going to think that Minnesota would have been 5-0 at this point. So why would you put that at a primetime game?
Yeah.
No one would have called that.
Right. I also kind of worried because Detroit lost Aiden Hutchinson. And he's gonna be out for a while. I could see him possibly being gone the rest of the season, honestly.
Yeah.
Because he basically got, I don't want to quite, I mean, it's pretty much Joe Theismann. That pretty much was that injury. Did you see it?
I did not see it. I heard about it, though.
It was that bad.
Yeah, like the best way I can describe it was either like a Theismann type injury, or if you guys remember from the UFC from years ago, Anderson Silva when he wrapped his leg around the dude when he front kicked him.
Nah,
Like that's basically what happened. Like
damn.
he went in for like a tackle or something, and his legs came in, and he was just with so much force. It was actually his own teammate too. It wrapped around his teammate's leg.
Oh,
It was
Yep,
bad.
I remember that.
that sounds
Like,
awful.
He pulled a
Yeah, so
Mr.
I'm-
Fantastic, and it just rubber.
Yeah,
Pulled a Mr. Fantastic. I don't think that's what it's called.
That's the best way I can describe it. Is like he just went all rubber and just wrapped around. Oh,
yeah, it was bad, and so I mean, he's done for the rest of the season, unfortunately, and that's a big loss for that defense. Like, he
Yeah.
kind of is the heart of that defense. So hopefully they can continue to play as well as they have been, but that'd be the only worry I have going forward for Detroit is losing him in that fashion with that bad of an injury.
all
So,
right, Pete. Who are you putting on the chopping block?
Ooh, I get to go first. So I get to pick Dak Prescott. How exciting is that?
Yeah,
My guy got walloped this week.
I said Detroit Lions.
Yes. What was the final score? Was it
46
47-9? Yeah. My God. On what's his face? Jerry Jones's what was it, 82nd birthday? It was on his birthday.
Yeah.
And he
Wow,
just
that's
looked
why
so
he's in a
miserable in
bad
his press
mood.
box, having like a little pout for his birthday.
It was a great birthday present for a very great man.
Yeah.
You know what though? If you hadn't put him up, I would have, because he was number one on my list. Like, it
Yep.
wasn't even close.
Yeah, I figured.
I know we've said that some quarterbacks kind of will get a pass week to week. This isn't one you can let go. You just can't. He had an 11.4 QBR. Like, I'm sorry. I think that was the worst of the week. Anybody, like, even the ones left, like the entire NFL had a better QBR than that.
So
wow.
he's my fantasy quarterback, and he just absolutely lost for my team, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there and I'm like, ooh, maybe he'll get like 3 garbage time touchdowns at the end of the game. And then they pull him in the fourth quarter. And it was like, son of a bitch. Like, you couldn't have even got me like a couple of garbage time touchdowns for my fantasy team. Bastard.
Well, Adam, I'm pretty sure it's ceremonial at this point, but who are you putting on the chopping block?
I'm gonna put Trevor Lawrence on the chopping block for this week.
Yep. And that
Like-
leaves me with Geno Smith.
Oh wow,
But the truth of the matter is,
it's gonna
Come
be
on,
Dak
Dak.
eliminated. I'm not voting for anybody else.
No.
Like, I hate to just kind of jump it, but it's like it's not even a competition.
with
Yeah.
QBR 11, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions,
Yeah.
there are little league quarterbacks that can do better than that. Man.
I'm pretty sure Jordan Peterman had a better QBR when he came in for Eli Manning for a game and threw like 7 picks in the first half.
Oh, God.
Or no, that
The
was
really
the Bill.
bad
That was
part-
for Buffalo, not Eli. That was Buffalo.
I was just going to
But
make
yeah.
a Painter joke when Peyton Manning went down, but you beat me to it.
Dude, that was great. Speaking of Painter, have you seen the new Peyton Manning commercial for Nationwide?
Oh,
Oh, God, I love that.
Peyton Manning.
I die every time I see the commercial, and it's on like every single commercial break during a football game, and I'm laughing like an idiot every time I watch it.
It's so hard not to break down at work while I'm watching YouTube because it pops up on my YouTube stuff. Ads. I mean, how can you not love Peyton Manning, man?
I know.
It's great.
I can't believe it took us this long to get this amazing pun for him, though. Like, it's so good.
It is just amazing to me how much personality he has been bottling up for his entire NFL career, and then as soon as he retires, he just pops the cork and party time.
It's true.
Right? See,
All
this is what I was talking about in one of our other shows before, how there's no personalities left in football. Could you imagine if we had this kind of personality on Peyton when he was playing? How much better it would have made it?
Oh god, the NFL in Paris and just have Peyton Manning in a beret drawing the Eiffel Tower. I'm Peyton Manning. I'm gonna be throwing in Paris.
And then here comes his backup, Curtis Painter.
Oh god,
the script writes itself.
I know, right? This would have been amazing back in like 2009, 10.
yeah,
Somewhere in there.
somewhere in there.
Like, yeah, it would have been amazing. Money just rolls in on that.
Yeah,
Because then you got, all of them down in Indy selling Peyton Manning shirts.
right.
Oh, and you know they
Peyton
would have too.
Eiffel Tower. Yeah.
Uh,
Only idiot wouldn't take advantage of that.
right.
All right, so moving on to winners and losers. To recap from last week, Adam guessed Chargers over Denver. Sure did, 23-16. Pete picked the Eagles over Cleveland. Damn right,
Go Birds.
Barely.
20-16. I picked Atlanta to win over North Carolina Panthers, 38-20. For the losses, Adam, you went the flip side of Pete's guess. You took Cleveland to lose to Philadelphia. Yep. Pete, going after those. I can't say that word anymore. The Commanders. Commanders to lose to Baltimore, 30-23. Sure did. And I had Seattle to lose to San Francisco. Yep, 36-24. And I got to say, it's a good thing, too, because if Brock Purdy had lost that one, I would have put him on the chopping block myself.
Yeah, but even if you would have, he wouldn't have beat Dak out for elimination.
No, he wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's great. We had a perfect week.
Yep, we went 6 for
Yeah.
6. Good on us.
Wow.
Unfortunately for Pete and I, that means that Adam is still in the lead now with 6. And Pete and I are tied at 4.
All right.
I'm a lot better at picking winners and losers in football than I am at picking wrestling winners.
Yeah, apparently. You were always in the back.
Oh, heck. All right, for week 7, Adam, lead us off. Who do you think is going to win in week 7?
So week 7, I even like this pick even better now. I've got the LA Rams beating the Las Vegas Raiders. And especially since the Raiders just traded Devontae Adams to the Jets.
Yeah.
I like this even more. Because the only good offensive player they had is gone.
Yeah.
So you're taking the 1-4 Rams to beat the 2-4 Vegas. Got it.
Yeah. It's a battle of losers.
I know, it's like...
Yeah.
All right. Pete, who do you have getting the win in week 7?
Well, speaking of battles of losers, I'm going to take the Bengals over the Browns.
Oof. That's going to be probably
Ohio
a
good,
bad
fight. Game.
Yeah. I mean, it's a divisional game. It's, in-state rival. Like, it's a very unique style of game, right? They're the only in-state, in-division pair, I think.
In-state, because the only other in-state teams are all AFC, NFC teams.
Oh, I guess the New York and Jets.
Or
the Buffalo and Jets, yeah.
Well, Buffalo. Well,
Buffalo.
New York's a big state.
That.
I know. Yeah, it doesn't count. Buffalo's not New York. It's Ohio. It's Canada.
I guess you'd
It's
also
more
say
Canada than anything.
You've got also the LA Rams and the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
So.
All right, so it's not that unique. Never mind.
LA
but
Rams,
still,
LA Chargers.
it's a rival game, so it'll be fun to watch. But
Yeah.
I'm taking the Bengals in this one. ESPN's got them at 4.5, I think. No, 5.5. So it's a huge spread, I think, for this game, and I bet it'll be closer, but we'll see.
And I'm going to take. I think that the Commanders are going to rebound from their smackdown and come back to win over Carolina.
It's a safe bet.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope so. Otherwise,
I have
NFC
no
East
respect.
is in real trouble.
It's a surefire way to get Jaden Daniels on the chopping block. That's for sure.
Yeah, maybe. I might give him a pass. Save him for
All right, Pete. Who do you have losing in Week 7?
I got the Tennessee Titans losing to the Buffalo Bills.
That I almost took that exact same one.
I'm shocked I haven't taken Tennessee to lose yet, to be honest with you. When I saw this game, I was like, oh, I could take Tennessee to lose. I don't even have to pick Buffalo to win this game. I could save that for later.
All right, Adam, who do you have losing in Week 7?
So, when I was looking through my list, I was kind of surprised I hadn't taken this team to lose yet. But then I also remembered I had been saving them. I'm taking the Carolina Panthers to lose to the Washington Commanders.
There you go.
So, yeah, when Tom took the Commanders to win, I'm like, that's great. 2 weeks in a row, I'm going to have the opposite of somebody else's winner pick. Like, yeah, it's one of those where I'm like, I could probably pick Carolina to lose any week. So I'm like, I'll save them until we're, into the season. I'm not going to waste them right off the bat.
Right.
So I saw this one. I'm like, oh, the Commanders have to bounce back and win this game. So, yeah, I'm taking Carolina to lose on this.
My Week 7 loss, I cannot believe I made this choice because this is making me kind of nervous because we just got done talking about Brock Purdy. I have San Francisco losing to Kansas City.
Oh.
Okay. You know what? I'll give you props for that. Those are the ones that it's those where it's a toss up. It's like it takes you a little bit more to pick that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think I took the easy way out when I took Carolina, but at some point we're going to have to take them to lose. So at this point, I'm cool with it right now. But I did think about taking Kansas City to win over San Francisco. It was a definite thought, especially coming off the bye. So yeah, I think that's not a bad pick. Like I said, San Francisco hasn't had their bye yet. They're beat ups right now. So I think that's actually not a terrible pick, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And plus, I made this choice before San Francisco played this week, so I still was kind of in a they're on a downward slide, but then they kind of turned it around last week.
You're prepping way too early, my guy.
A little bit. Well, in the world of news, we had Devontae Adams get shifted over to the Jets and Amari Cooper to the Bills. Devontae Adams got traded for a 2025 conditional third round that can be upgraded to a second round selection if he makes the second team All-Pro, if the Jets active roster makes it to the AFC Championship or Super Bowl. Sure, that can happen, right?
I mean, honestly, the NFC East, AFC East isn't that great of a division either right now. So, it's possible.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to make the championship. I don't see him getting through Kansas City. I don't see him getting through Baltimore. I don't see him, honestly, even getting through Houston at this point. So, probably not. But, if somehow he can get Aaron Rodgers to be Aaron Rodgers from 2012, then they got a shot at least.
Yeah, but I
Well,
mean, you're asking to turn back the time 12 years. That's
yeah,
quite a quest there.
it is. But I also will say though that he opens up a lot more for the rest of the offense because he
Yeah,
opens up Garrett Wilson, he opens up Brees Hall, he opens up Braylon Allen. Like he opens up a lot for that offense just having him on the field. The problem with Oakland is there was no one else on the field that you were scared of except for Devontae Adams. So you're
right,
like, all right, if you're going to beat me with whoever their others receivers are, I'll take that because
right.
you're trusting, unknown receivers and Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. Like,
Yeah.
I'll take the loss if I lose that way, but Devontae ain't going to beat me.
Yeah, I was kind of in the same boat where I heard nothing but people talking about how amazing Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers were together way back when. And it was
Mhm.
like, yeah, but that was a while ago.
Yeah.
It was. And honestly, I don't know why, for some reason, I thought Devontae Adams was a lot older than what he is. Like, I mean, he's 31, which is still kind of old, but I thought he was like in his mid to late 30s at this point. I didn't realize that he was 31. Like I said, I thought he was like 35, 36. I'm like,
Yeah, I would have put him more at like 36.
yeah, but no, he's 31. So, I mean, he's still got some legs and some fuel in the tank on this. So, even if Rodgers doesn't pan out, if he re-signs long term, which is what he said he wants to do in New York, I mean, you get at least halfway competent quarterback in there, and you can make some magic happen. It doesn't even have to be top tier. I mean, you get a 10 to 15 level quarterback in there, and you're already a divisional favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting how the Jets keep making these big blockbuster moves that kind of like change the narrative away from how terrible they're doing this season. And like, I don't, I mean, this might move the needle, eh, but I don't know if it will. Because like ultimately, I feel like they're still the Jets. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is still 100 years old, and you're going to add some more weapons. You're going to get a little more flash in the pan, and then it's going to fizzle out. And I know this is really like a sign of, okay, we're trying to win now. Like we fired our head coach very early in the season. Now we went out and made this big blockbuster trade for a veteran wide receiver who's going to make Aaron Rodgers happy. And he's worked with the guy before, so he can probably start day one and he'll probably play on Sunday. And like, that's all great, but that's just fluff. You don't have a good team, and it's like if you can polish a turd all you want, you're still the New York Jets. You're still like, even if you make it to the playoffs as a wild card, you're gonna lose because you're the New York Jets and that's what you do. But hey, what are they on a 13-year drought or something like that from the playoffs? So like at least they'll end that. I'm not even sure they will, to be honest with you. They had a terrible start to the season. They're what, 2-4 right now, right?
Yeah, so
The Jets are.
yeah, they're 2-4.
2-4,
I
yeah.
mean,
You
at the
beat
same
me to
time,
it.
though, like
Yep.
I mean, Buffalo's 4-2, so I mean, they're 2 games behind Buffalo there. Miami's 2-3, and they're sitting in second place. I mean, it's not as if this division is gone. Like you could, like I said, we'll see what happens. I don't know, like it's really hard to tell. The one thing I will say is at least what they have going for them now is that even at 2-4, they have a +5 point differential for the year, and that's with being bad.
Yeah.
And if Adams can open up that much more for him, it should help relieve a lot of it. I don't know how Miami is 2-3 when they're -53 on a point differential scale.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think losing Tua really hurt the Dolphins.
Oh well, yeah, and
Yeah.
not bringing in a competent backup quarterback also hurt the Dolphins.
Right.
I'm sorry. Why would you go into the season as with Tyler Huntley as your backup when you know you have a quarterback that has a history of getting concussions? Like, why would you not go out and get spend some money for a good backup.
I mean, honestly,
Flacco.
it doesn't matter who your head doesn't matter who your starting quarterback is, whether he's prone to injury or not. Like, this is 2024. Like, you hit the ground funny, they're going to pull you out of a game. Even if you don't get a concussion, they're going to pull you out of the game. You hit the ground funny. You need to have a competent backup. Like, you need to spend some money on a backup quarterback. I'm not stoked about Kenny Pickett being our backup in Philly. Like, how did we win the Super Bowl in 2017 with Nick Foles as our backup? You know, like, you've got to go out and spend some money on a guy who at least can fully comprehend the offense and is expecting to go into the game at some point, and like doesn't want to be a career backup. And I know none of them are ever going to admit they want to be a career backup, but like, you look at a guy like Fitzmagic, and as great as he was as in, the first 3 games when he'd get the ball and then he'd suck after that, I don't think he ever wanted to be a fully starting quarterback. I think he was perfectly fine in his niche spot of being a journeyman backup who would step in and win 3 of 4 when your guy went out with a sports hernia or whatever. And other than that, sit on the bench and collect a nice check. Like, that's what you need. You need a guy who can win the 3 of 4. Like, you can't have a guy who's going to go 2 and 4.
Yeah. Like, I mean, honestly, right now, it'd be kind of funny. Like, I don't understand how he doesn't have a job. Ryan Tannehill is still a free agent. Why would you not bring him in? Like,
Yeah.
Is he a great starting quarterback? Nah. Could he win you 2 or 3 games as a backup? Absolutely. Not to mention, it'd be funny because he started in Miami, where he got drafted.
Right.
So bring him back into Miami, and all you got to do is chuck it up for Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Like, just start lobbing go routes for Tyreek Hill, and you're going to get something.
Yeah, you can't overthrow that, man.
No. And, like, it's crazy that he's the only good NFL quarterback left that's on the free agent market. Other than that, the next best one is Desmond Ridder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand how he doesn't have a job. Like, I don't know. It's weird. Or how Vegas didn't pick up Tannehill. Like, we went with Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell over Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
Just a quick note, the last time the Jets made the playoffs was 2010 when they actually made it to the conference championship and lost to the Steelers.
So,
yeah. Rex Ryan and Sanchezy, right?
Yep. I think that was the year before the butt fumble.
Jeez.
Do you remember when Sanchez ate the hot dog on the sideline?
No.
Oh my God, it was so funny. So, like, apparently he had forgotten to eat before the game and he was starting to get nauseous. So he like told an assistant coach to go get him something to eat, and they came back with like a hot dog with like mustard and onions and shit on it. And he's on the sideline and he's like trying to hide it. So he's kind of like covering the hot dog with his hand. And he's just shoving this hot dog in his mouth. And it's all SportsCenter could talk about for like a week.
I mean, that's newsworthy stuff, man.
But it's like, how are you gonna in the middle of a game just house a hot dog on the sideline? Like,
Anybody who's ever been to a ball game knows that you don't just down a hot dog like that because you're going to be miserable.
The funny thing is my ex and I used to always call puking Sanchezing because of that exact incident. Because it's like, he's going to puke that hot dog back up. It's like Sanchez everywhere.
On the other side of the trade, or on the other trade, actually, Amari Cooper.
Sorry.
Nah, it's cool, man. Cleveland sends Amari Cooper and a 2025 sixth rounder that they got from Detroit to Buffalo, while Buffalo sends back a 2025 third round and a 2026 seventh round. and a restructured contract that only hits their cap for $800K. Well done, Buffalo.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. It's like, man, translate that into my paycheck, and he's only going to have to work 13 weeks for that? Jesus.
I have to admit I'm kind of digging this trade just because I think Amari Cooper is better than his Cleveland performance would lead you to believe.
Oh, I definitely agree with that.
Because if you just look what he did in Dallas, his average catch percentage was higher, his yards per target was higher, yards per game was higher. All of his stats, well, not all of his stats, most of his stats were higher. But yeah, you can say that was time. He was younger, but that was 3 years ago. It's not like it was 10 years ago.
Right. And he also had a competent quarterback throwing the ball to him.
I wasn't going to go there, but yeah.
I mean, it's what it is. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I mean, I know why Cleveland keeps putting Deshaun Watson out. They paid him all the money. They got to eat it. They got to put him out there.
Paid him a lot.
It's one of those things where they were banking on the fact that he could separate his personal life from his professional football life, and he can't. This is obvious because there's no reason why he wouldn't be at least close to what we saw in Houston. Because when he was in Houston, he was a borderline top 10 quarterback, if not a top 10 quarterback, when he was in Houston. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I get why they wanted to try to get. I get why they went for it. You're Cleveland. You haven't had a quarterback since Bernie Kosar in the '80s that's been competent, and it's like, I mean. Wow. You have some decent. You had Nick Chubb. You had Jarvis Landry. I think they just signed Amari Cooper at that offseason too. So it's like you were building a good offensive team. You have David Njoku, who's a good tight end. Like, I mean, you have a lot of building blocks there. You just need a quarterback. And there was a guy that was going to be cheap. That should have been a lot cheaper. That didn't need that contract. No one was going to pay him that after what had happened.
Right.
I mean, they may have come. I mean, you're still paying him in the, 9 figures for $100 million, something like that. Like, you're still going to pay him over $100 million over the total value of the contract, but you're not going to have $200+ million fully guaranteed. Not a chance.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is like I usually push for a guaranteed contract because I'm usually on the player side about contracts because it's like they're the ones who are putting their lives on the line for our entertainment. They should be compensated for it, and always according to the contract. I think all NFL contracts should be fully guaranteed, but like since they're not, why do you have so much guaranteed money in this one? Like that's the thing. It's like, why was this guy the guy you chose to put so much guaranteed money behind and not another player? Like, I don't know.
It's Cleveland. Yeah. And what doesn't make sense to me either is that, Cleveland's always had bad ownership and all this other stuff, but now, like, the owner of the Browns was a partial owner of the Steelers, who are a good-run organization from ownership down. How do you have someone that was in that organization that made good decisions make such terrible ones now? Like, it doesn't make any sense. How do you do that?
And this is a bad decision that's going to haunt them because if they cut him before next summer, they're in the hole for $92 million to Watson. But on top of that, they have $172 million of dead cap space that they have to swallow, and it doesn't get much better if they hold out till after the summer because they still have to pay him for 2026. And they have almost $100 million dead cap space, whether he plays or not.
Yeah, and the problem with the problem too, even now at this point, is that you lost your chance at a good quarterback in the draft because this next year's draft class is not going to be that good. You had 5 good quarterbacks coming out this year that you could have made a move to go up and get. Like, we don't really have any real free agent quarterbacks that are really going to be difference makers that aren't, lifetime backups or just old guys looking for a final contract, a la, Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, those kind of guys. And it's just, it sucks because I'm like, at this point, just rock with Jameis, man. Just rock with Jameis Winston. You wouldn't be any worse. You couldn't get any worse.
Yeah, that's the thing to me with the whole mentality of oh, we paid him all this money, so we have to play him. I don't subscribe to that. Don't you want to win? Isn't winning the game more profitable for you than losing the game? So therefore, if you're worried about money, wouldn't you prefer to win a game than to lose one?
I mean, you'd think so.
Yeah.
That's not how a lot of people work. And it's just because he's overpaid doesn't mean he's worth playing.
Right. I don't understand why teams pretend like they are.
I don't understand how, I still am just shocked at the market value for quarterbacks now. It's insane.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I like Dak Prescott. He's not worth the $60 million they're paying him. He's not.
Yeah.
Jordan Love ain't worth the $50 million that they're paying him. Dude had 12 starts. Or 16. He played last season. It's a lot of these quarterbacks aren't even close to the money that's worth what they're making. So many of them. There's maybe a handful of guys that should be paid not even a handful. There's 4 that should be paid $50+ million a year. And that's honestly, it's Josh Allen, it's Lamar Jackson, it's Pat Mahomes, and at this point, maybe CJ Stroud when he comes up. But Joe Burrow hasn't really done. Burrow did too. Burrow's at least taken him to a Super Bowl, so Joe Burrow would be in that class too. But and Jalen Hurts at the same point. So you got 6. You got 6 guys. That's it. But no one else is even should even be close to making anything like that.
Not Sam Darnold? No.
Sam Darnold.
Not yet. No, not yet. I guarantee you, though, if he takes Minnesota to at least the divisional round of the playoffs, he is going to make bank next year.
Yeah. Well, how many years has he been in the league now? It's 5, right?
I think it's 5 or 6 because I think he came in the same draft as Josh Allen and Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I think. Maybe not.
If you give me a second.
But it's just, it's crazy what he's been able to do so far.
Yeah.
In 2018. So he is 6 years in.
6 years in. So, he gets paid next year. He can still get a 4-year, 5-year contract. He might make.
He's only 27.
Yeah.
He can easily get a 4 or 5 year contract. Probably on like I said, if they go to the divisional round, I could see someone paying him $200 million.
That's insane.
It's dumb, but I can see it. You can't tell me you can't see somebody doing it.
Yeah.
At this point, I could see Cleveland doing it.
I can't imagine he would work well in Cleveland.
No. But no, it's one of those things. It's just nuts. I can't believe it. It's just crazy. And then running backs are paid nothing.
Yeah.
In NFL in terms of NFL money.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure running backs are paid. As an average, they're close to averaging out with kickers now at this point.
Oh,
because
really?
You can just go get a running back.
Yeah. I'm trying to think because the last big contract I remember was McCaffrey's contract, but I can't remember what it was. Yeah, Barkley got a pretty good contract.
I know it was a few years ago, but when he re-signed, Ezekiel Elliott also got a pretty good contract too.
Yeah.
I think Derrick Henry got a pretty good contract this offseason from Baltimore. But I feel like they've devalued running backs less than kickers now. Kickers are more valuable to a team than running backs are now.
Yeah, I mean, it really is sad how much they've devalued running backs, and I don't get why. Like,
Dallas
it's
still can't find one.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reason why is because there's no shelf life. I mean,
I
most
mean,
of your running
fair.
backs don't last more than 3 years, and that's a rookie contract. By the time they're
Yeah,
out of their rookie contract, they're pretty much scrubbed out. Like,
yeah,
I mean, other than Saquon, again, Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, and Derrick Henry, I couldn't tell you really a running back that's really lasted a ton past his rookie contract.
I mean,
There
anymore,
are, but they're
yeah,
not. I mean, there are, but like they're not getting paid.
yeah, and like the guys who did pass the rookie contract, they're more of older. The old guard. I mean, they're not playing anymore, but they lasted 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
You got like Deuce Staley lasted 10 years, and
McCoy.
and
I think
what's his
David
face?
Montgomery for Detroit has been around for a while now too.
Yeah, and I mean, Jesus, Frank Gore played for damn near 20 years, didn't he?
Yeah. And like never got hurt.
I know. That man was skewing the chart for the average length of a career.
Yeah, he did. He was the last one to do it too. He'll probably be the last one to do it.
16 seasons, Frank
Damn.
Gore.
Yeah, I mean, like David Montgomery out in Detroit. I mean, he was drafted in 2019, so he's in year 5, so he's out of his rookie contract now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's
so
just,
you
it's
guys want to hear
crazy.
something hilarious? I got a list of the 25 biggest NFL contracts for this year. You hit defensive linemen and defensive ends before you hit a single running back.
Oh yeah,
Damn.
you probably hit. I'm surprised you don't hit offensive linemen. To be honest with you.
It only goes up to 25 though,
No.
and most of those are quarterbacks.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Because, like I said, I mean,
4 wide receivers, a D lineman, a defensive end, and everything else is quarterbacks.
There's the trivia for you. Who are the top 25 highest paid players in the NFL? Name the players that aren't quarterbacks.
Oh shit.
Because I mean,
man,
other than like Justin Jefferson and probably Cooper Kupp, I'm guessing are 2 of the receivers. CeeDee Lamb's up there now too.
CeeDee Lamb's up there.
Like, I couldn't tell you the 4th receiver though. Maybe Stephon Diggs.
Who just got paid? Somebody just got paid.
Oh, Ayuk.
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk.
I closed the window, so give me a minute. All right. Highest non-quarterback, Justin Jefferson at $35 million.
Yep.
CeeDee Lamb, $34 million.
Yeah.
Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa.
49ers for $34 million.
Yeah.
AJ Brown, $32 million.
Hey, there you go.
AJ Brown.
Let's go Birds.
Chris Jones, Kansas City, $31.75 million. And to round out the list, number 25 himself from Detroit Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St.
Paid
Brown.
already? Wow, I didn't know
Just
he'd been in the
he
league
is a
that long.
scratch above $30 million.
Still, I didn't know he'd been in the league that long, honestly. I thought he'd still be playing on his rookie contract. That's why I didn't even think about
Yeah.
Amon-Ra. Because, I mean, he can't be that far in, really? Yeah, he was only drafted in 2021. He's only 3 years in, and he's already gotten re-signed.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Oh, he was a 4th-round pick, that's why. So he didn't have that 5th-year option. So
Yeah.
I think they had 3 years, and they had to re-sign him.
Right.
That'd be why.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I'm like, he hasn't been around that long. So, but yeah, I mean, and it also just goes to show you that, good, like the teams like that, they sign the right players. Like, you've got to have the right players, man. And I mean, we were talking about, trades and people moving around and stuff. And, I got to go on a tangent on this. after this week and watching Dallas just get destroyed and embarrassed by Detroit, you've got these players like this, like Amari Cooper and Devontae Adams and other guys that are available, but they won't go sign anybody. They won't trade for anybody. Like their defense is decimated. They're down to like third string and practice squad guys at this point in a lot of their positions because they're hurt. I mean, like DeMarcus Lawrence is out. Micah Parsons is gone too. I think one of their top cornerbacks is also gone. Like they're missing so many players. Like, dude, go get people, man. Like Max Crosby is on the record for saying that, hey, if Devontae Adams goes, I don't want to be here either. Go get one of the best edge rushers. You put him on the other side from DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons. Dude,
Yeah.
they're gonna wreak havoc. Like, I mean, there's players out there that they just won't go get. And even Jerry had his weak ass argument this offseason that, oh, we didn't have enough money to go sign Derrick Henry. I'm like, go make it. Go clear out some cap space to go sign the best running back in the league.
Yeah. Like, isn't that your job as GM to like make deals like that happen?
Yeah. You trade guys or cut guys to go get the better players.
Right. Or you restructure contracts so that all the money ends up at the back end. Like,
Right. That's this, and that's what's frustrating is that, you know, if they had a real general manager, they would have probably gone through 2 or 3 of them by now at this point because they keep making bad deals.
yeah.
Like this is the problem when the owner is also the general manager. There's no way to hold him accountable for terrible business, terrible football decisions. Like it's ridiculous.
Oh no, I think you were right with business decisions because did you hear his rant on the radio this week? When he calls into a weekly radio show and gets interviewed by the same guy every week, and it's like the Cowboys radio network affiliate,
Right.
and the guy asks him like, what do you think you did wrong on Sunday or something like that, and he goes on this tirade and he's like, listen, you're not going to sit here with a microphone and tell me what I did wrong on Sunday, okay? If you're such a genius, you should be in this meeting I'm on my way to right now. Like, if you're not going to ask me, if you're going to sit there and ask me questions like that, I'll go get someone else to ask me questions. And I'm not joking. I'll have your job right now. And it was like, dude, if you didn't own the team, you would have been fired mid-rant. Like, Jesus Christ. And this is all live on the radio. The whole nation heard it.
Like it's one of those things. I don't know if I made this.
The fan.
I don't know if I made this comparison before on the show or not. If it was on the show or not, but I know I've made this comparison. Jerry Jones is the NFL's Vince McMahon. When he first bought the team in the 80s, it was garbage. Like his first year or two that he was owner, they were trash. They were like they went like 1-13. Like they were absolute garbage. He did the smart thing at the time. He traded Herschel Walker, who was like the best running back in the league, and got an absolute haul for him, mostly in draft picks, but he got a haul for him. And with those draft picks, he built the team in the 90s. He got Emmitt Smith. He got Troy Aikman. He got Michael Irving. They drafted Larry Allen. Like, they built the dynasty of the 90s basically off of the draft picks from Herschel Walker and what they had. And even and then early 2000s, things kind of start petering out. You know, the guys are getting older. And it's just ever since then, like 2010s, you had a flash too. Like with Romo and with DeMarcus Ware and all these guys. I mean, you had windows in the early 2010s and even kind of into the mid 2010s. But then now I feel it's like he's just imploding on himself because they still keep making money. It's like Vince McMahon in the WWE. The last 10, 15 years were garbage, but because they kept making money hand over fist, there was no reason to change anything.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. And people tolerate them because they're the most valuable sports franchise in the world.
Yeah. And I think you've got it right there. It's the fact that they're making so much money, why change anything? It's if it ain't broke, why fix it? But it's like, that's not the only measure of success for a team. And it's like, I don't know. I don't want to be the laughing stock of the league and still be the most, the highest valued team. I'd rather be the best team in the league and be like a mid-valued team, to be honest
Right.
with you.
And honestly, when you have the money that those people have, I would rather lose money and win championships than
Yeah.
make money and be a joke week after week. I mean, it's just one of those things where every league in the U.S. has that one team that everybody talks about for good or for bad. They're going to talk about them almost every week. NBA's got the Lakers. The MLB has they have the Yankees, and then hockey. I'm sure they have one. I don't know who it is. I don't follow hockey enough. I'm sorry.
It's the
guys.
Red Wings, man.
I was going to say the
I wish.
Brewers.
All I ever hear about is the Red Wings.
I mean, it might be, but and then the NFL's got the Cowboys. The Cowboys are talked about all the time, whether it's good or bad, and for the most part, it is what it is. That comes with kind of the whole Cowboys thing again. But yeah, I'd rather lose money or not make that much than win championships. I really wouldn't, because it's like you win championships, the value comes with it.
Right.
I'll give him this. It's the same thing with Vince. Dude did an amazing job at marketing, because that's what it is. It's marketing and PR. He built the image and the brand, and that's the same thing that Vince did. And dude's going to make billions off it when he does finally leave. And I would hope that when he leaves, hopefully Stephen Jones will actually hire a GM and won't do it himself. Like, I hope he doesn't continue that trend, because I'm guaranteeing you that he's going to leave it to his son. I would almost bet. So I hope he makes the decision to just be an owner and let football people make football decisions.
Yeah, I mean, that's
been there, even though he's been there with his dad making the decisions.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it boils down to, is you got to let football people make football decisions. And as much as owners want to be football people, unless they came up through it, which Jerry Jones did not, they're not football people. Like, it's not something you can learn late in life. It's something that you spend your entire career honing. And you can make some good decisions and you can do some smart stuff and, catch lightning in a bottle. And I know I just referred to the 90s dynasty as lightning in a bottle, but like, for the breadth of Jerry Jones's career, it is kind of lightning in a bottle, because it's completely drowned it out by the abject failure he's done for the last 25 years.
Yeah. And honestly, even their last title that they won in 95, they weren't even the favorites to win that. San Francisco was the favorite for that season. Green Bay knocked them out in the divisional round, and then they beat Green Bay in the conference round. And it's like, it was. It really, the 90s was lightning in a bottle, and then you never got even close to that kind of dominance and that kind of a good team ever again.
Right.
Like, I mean, except up until about 2001, 2002, they were still, at least they were prevalent and there was a chance. After that, like I said, they've had a couple years here and there where they've kind of had a flash in the pan, but that's about it. And I mean, it's sad. I mean, the dude's 82. Just leave. Enjoy your life. We don't like. It sucks, because you know how many people would love to. I mean, if he were to ever say that he was thinking about selling, you know how many people would jump at the opportunity to put together a package to try to buy the Dallas Cowboys? Like, I mean, he's going to make his money. Just take your money, go retire, and go live life on a beach somewhere.
That's the biggest thing. It's like, go retire. You know how many people don't make it to their 82nd birthday, and you spent years sitting up there pouting in a box while your favorite toys were getting demolished in front of you? Like, go enjoy your life, enjoy your retirement. You've got like 5 to 10 years left on this planet, dude. Stop spending it so miserable running.
If you want to enjoy it and be happy while playing with your toys, let someone else do the job for you.
Right. Get a new toy.
Yeah.
Put them in charge of the other toys.
Right. And with the current value of the And with the current value of the Dallas Cowboys being just under $11 billion, I think that you could buy some pretty amazing effing toys with $11 billion.
Right? I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So Jerry Jones, this is great. This is very succinct. So Jerry bought the Cowboys back in 1989, right?
Yep.
He paid 11.2 million for them, and now they're valued at 11 billion.
Jesus, that's insane.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'll give him credit for that. Like, dude has built the value of this team tremendously.
That's what, 100-fold, right? It's 100 times,
1,000.
I think so.
1,000 times. Jesus.
I mean, how many investments do you have that you get 1,000 times your money on?
I mean,
I'd be happy with one.
One investment or one times?
Either.
right. Fair enough. But yeah, it's frustrating as a fan. It really is. Like, I've come close a couple different times to dropping them all together, but it's almost like that bad relationship where you get to that point and then you're like, nah, I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. But then something just sucks you right back in and you just can't leave. And you just can't do it. It's like getting hooked on that narcotic, man. I'm stuck on that narcotic. Yeah, it sucks. And there's just that hope of one day being a competent franchise again and actually being a legitimate Super Bowl contender just keeps you going.
It'll happen for you, man. Just stay positive.
Well, you know what? At least with you guys, like, you know, you live in Philly, Pete, and Tom, we live in Indiana, so it's like at least your favorite teams are like the hometown teams. Like, I don't even live anywhere close to Dallas. I never have. So it's like, it's just one of those like things where it's like, but at the same time, I can't see myself rooting for anyone that lives around where I live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe Detroit. That's a bandwagon hop at this point.
I was going to say you're either Detroit, Chicago, or Indianapolis. That's about
I mean, Tennessee's
it.
kind of close.
Yeah, but if you're going that far, you might as well go Green Bay as well.
Yeah, screw Green Bay. I hate Green Bay.
I'll tell you what,
Tennessee
man.
has some cool uniforms, man. I love the Titans uniforms.
Yeah, they do. They do have cool ones.
But
I actually miss being an out of place fan. That's kind of one of the things I miss the most about Indiana, to be honest with you. Because, like, by the end of my time in Indiana, I had this nice little group of about a dozen Birds fans, and we would all show up at Wrigley Field Bar and Grill. And, like, you know, they've got the main room when you walk in, and then they've got that, like, those two side rooms. You got to walk through one, and then there's another one all the way in the, you know, on the outside. And we would just take that whole room over and watch the Birds games. And, like, while I can do that at literally every bar here, that, like, makes it less special somehow, you know? Because it was like,
it's fun.
yeah, like, it took me a good, like, 5-6 years to find that many other Eagles fans and, like, get us to all show up at the same spot. Not that I did it myself, but, like, we all kind of congregated to this one spot. And it took me a while to find that. And it was cool. But at the same time, I like going to games, and it's a lot easier when, you know, they play 8 of them in my backyard.
Right.
I still remember going with you to Wrigley and just watching this random guy walk into the Eagles room, and as soon as you guys all went nuts for something that happened in the game, he just turned or did an about face and walked right back out. He's like, I have clearly made a lapse in judgment here.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But yeah,
All right. To wrap
it
up,
sucks. It just sucks, man. It really does. But that's about, I think, all we really have. I'll stop complaining about Jerry Jones. So that'll end my rant for this week.
All right. And finally, we're going to have our little trivia section. This week it's a game called What's My Name Again? In which I will tell you the real legitimate first name of a starting quarterback of the 2024 season, and you tell me who is that?
Okay.
All right.
Pete, William, and not Levis.
Wait a minute. All right, so we get the real first name of a starting quarterback, and we got to give you his full name.
Yeah, like if I did, just as an example, if I would have said Tuana de Gimo Poloa Palia, you would say that's Tua.
Oh. Okay.
I can't pronounce that. That's like 12 syllables.
William. God, whose first name is William? I can't think of a single William or Bill. I have no idea. I give up.
Adam, do you want to steal this one?
Okay, so it's not Will Levis. I'm trying to think here. It's not Josh Allen, Drake. We've also got Aaron Rodgers. It's big. I'm gonna just go with that Geno Smith.
First name William, middle name Trevor Lawrence.
Oh.
Ah, okay.
Adam, John.
I'm gonna go with this is John Gardner Minshew.
No. Pete, you want to take a guess?
Is it John Dakota Prescott?
John Matthew Stafford.
John Matthew Stafford.
So these dudes
Pete.
go by their middle name.
I know, right?
Especially when you have the most generic first and middle name. Like, why switch? It's like, oh, I didn't like beige, so I went with off-white.
Pete. Rain.
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 Pac-Man Jones.
Rain?
Rain. Starting quarterback in the 2024 season. His first name is Rain.
Oh my God! All right, if he's not because I know Dak Prescott's middle name is Dakota. I have no idea what his first name is, so I'm gonna go with Rain Dakota Prescott.
Correct.
All right.
Adam, Eugene.
Eugene. This has to be a white guy.
It's not hard to see why he changed it.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know. For some reason, I'm picturing that Eugene's quarterback name is actually Brock Purdy.
No. Pete, do you want to take a guess?
It's Geno Smith, right?
Eugene Cyril Smith III.
Yeah.
Geno
It's
Smith.
so funny when you're like, that's got to be a white guy. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's not.
I even said Geno earlier, too.
All right. Pete, Derek.
Derek Carr?
Nope.
Not Derek Carr.
Shoot, did Derek Carr start a game this season?
Yeah, he's in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Oh, not Derek Carr.
Not Derek Carr. All right.
Sorry, he slipped by me.
It's all good. Derek. Derek?
Let's.
How about Derek Caleb Williams?
Unfortunately, not.
Ah.
Adam, do you want to take a guess?
Yeah, I had a thought, but it'd be more funny than an actual right answer. Let's see. Derek Samuel Bradford.
Derek Deshaun Watson.
Ah,
What? All right.
And Adam, for the last one of the evening, Coleridge.
Coolidge, huh? Man, this can go. Yeah. You know what? Just because who names her kid Coolidge?
Right?
Like, I can just see him being called in school Cool Ranch. Like, I mean, what's up, Cool Ranch Dorito?
Is that your brother Nacho?
Someone's looking extra crunchy and crispy today. I'm gonna guess Coolidge Drake May.
Fortunately, not. Pete, do you want to steal this one?
Is Coolridge the C from CJ Stroud?
It is indeed the C in CJ Stroud.
I would
And
go
for-
by CJ as well.
And for bonus points, can you guess what his middle name is? And I almost fell out of my chair when I saw this one.
I mean,
Coolidge.
You want to guess first?
I mean, I'm looking for something just that's totally off the wall and probably not even close to being correct.
You might be closer than you think.
Coolidge Jarvis Stroud.
Unfortunately, not. Pete, do you want to take a stab, or do you just want the answer?
So, in my mind, Coolridge Jones sounds really cool. So I kind of hoping it's Jones.
Unfortunately, not.
Damn.
Coolidge Bernard Stroud the Fourth. Yeah, Bernard. CJ is Bernard.
Oh my God, he's gotta be CJ as in junior, but he's the fourth, so it doesn't count. So how is Jay Bernard?
It makes no sense. But this is mainly why I made this entire list. I was like, that is complete nonsense.
I'm gonna start calling him CB Stroud. What the hell?
I mean, dude, if my name was Coolidge Jones, I would go by that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I would too.
I wouldn't even say Stroud's my last name. Like, I'd have Jones in my back and be like, I'm Coolidge Jones, bitch.
Just don't use the last name. Just first and middle. There it is.
Yeah. Dude.
See, but if you're Coolidge Jones, you got to get one of those visors that have the shade on it so nobody can see your eyes. Just be like, yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
my future's so bright. I'm Coolidge Jones.
You would absolutely have a Doritos contract on day one.
You gotta be like, if your name's Coolidge Jones, you gotta have like this crushed velvet pimp suit too. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, with like the top hat and the cane and like the tails, the whole thing. Like, I'm sorry, man. Your name's
satin
Coolidge Jones.
satin pocket square.
Oh yeah, it's embossed with CJ.
Yeah.
Monogram. That's what it is. The monogram. Yeah. CJ monogram right on there. Oh, absolutely. It's with pinstripes too. Like,
Hell
like,
yeah.
you got it. I kind of want to be Coolidge Jones now.
And with that, Pete wins trivia night with 3-0.
I don't think I've ever heard those words said before.
Pete wins the trivia.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? What better way to go out than on top?
Exactly.
That's how we're going to go out this week.
All right.
That'll be it for this episode, guys. I'm glad you were able to join us. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube and Spotify, Amazon, and Apple Podcasts. We are also on Facebook, all of them at Geeks and Greeks. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.
Later.
Peace.
Oh.
Wow, that cut us way quicker than it normally does.
Yeah.
Dude, so I thought of this. I was typing out the outro and I thought of a slogan, but I didn't know if I actually wanted to say it out loud yet until I ran it by. But you remember how for the wrestling one, Jeremy had come up with the line about taking the bumps of life.
Yeah.
Yep.
It came up with something kind of like in that kind of vein, but it's like, may the coin toss of life be in your favor.
Nice. I like it.
Oh man, that would have been a good one.
A little bit longer, but still pretty good.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot to talk about.
Oh, I blew my chance.
Yeah. That's what
What'd you miss?
That's why I told Tom, like, at minimum, we're gonna get to Jerry Jones. We gotta get to Jerry Jones. Like, I gotta get this off.
I had a sound bite all cute, all ready for when we start talking about Jerry Jones, and as soon as Adam started talking about the Cowboys losing to other teams, I had this one queued
Do you
up.
really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
I couldn't hear it.
It seems to have gotten quieter. I gotta really. Oh well.
So,
But yeah, it was this one.
Die Hard,
Do you really
man.
think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
okay. I just couldn't hear it. I know what it's from now, but I just couldn't hear it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now the two main people in that movie are, well, Brickman's dead. Bruce Willis is going to be going here soon.
Yeah. Dude, that aphasia that he's got, that's scary.
Yeah.
Like I was like, new fear unlocked when I found out what his condition was. It was like, shit, I didn't know that was a possibility.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, of all of them, I'm surprised Michael J. Fox is still kicking for as bad as his Parkinson's is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That shocks me, I think, the most. I thought he would have been gone already, to be honest with you. But
It's kind of crazy how much money that guy has raised for Parkinson's disease.
yeah.
It's like quadrupled since he got involved in that.
Yeah. Well, it also really took off when him and Muhammad Ali both were doing it like together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like that really boosted it by a lot.
I forgot about Muhammad Ali having it, but yeah, you're right.
Yep.
That's what eventually killed him, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
There were complications from it and it led to other stuff.
I mean, he was older.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's degenerative neural disorder, so it'll just take out everybody.
Yeah. I mean, with his profession and the level that he played it at, he's lucky he didn't die by suicide due to CTE, honestly.
Right? Very true. I mean, you could say that for just about any boxer.
Yeah.